Hello there. Welcome to The Road Less Traveled. I'm your host, Dolo. Welcome back if you are returning, and if this is your first time, you're more than welcome. Thank you for being here. You're so appreciated. I hope you can get a lot out of the messages that I'm leaving, because I'm here just to translate the law of attraction and manifestation in general, which is not necessarily just the law of attraction. So, yeah, this is season 2 and episode 2 of The Road Less Traveled. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to have rebooted this. And I'm more so excited that I've leveled my energies and balanced myself spiritually enough where I don't feel the need to keep up and be on here 4 times a week. Because if we're going to be real, that's I'm just not about that life. Okay? I'm just not. But I am here and I will be here consistently nonetheless. As usual, if you're looking for me outside of this podcast, you can find me at dolo1.com. Dolo1.com. I am the Dolo One. That's DOLO, the number 1.com. Yeah, so today's episode is going to be focused around split energy. And I think I might have tapped on this a little bit in the past, but I was not as specific as I could be. Didn't give great examples, but today I am here to do so. So just a quick small recap. If you are new to manifestation, we all manifest as beings, as electrical beings, as beings with magnetic energy, as vibrators. We all manifest. So you're manifesting things and have been your whole life, whether or not you even realize it. It's all about when your feelings, your emotions align with your desires, your actions. There's so much that goes into it. But I'm here to try and help clear some of it up as I learn it. And the good news is the things that I'm talking about so far are things that I learned a long time ago. And I'm always reading up to refresh and, motivate myself to learn more. I motivate myself to learn more because I love learning more. And so when it comes to split energy, what split energy comes down to is pretty much listening to your conscious as far as what your results are. So split energy can look anything like you knowing what the better option would be, what would make more sense to you. Know that you're about to commit to something that you don't actually want to do, but you commit to it anyway because it either satisfies someone else, it makes the situation easier, it makes it faster, more convenient in some way, and or you're probably still thinking from the human nature, from your mind. You could possibly be thinking that it's more logical. The thing about manifestation is that it's usually not logical. It usually does not follow the rules as far as what society has laid out. It does not follow your expectations. It will not do what you want when you want it to, just because you want it to. It will follow through with what you are genuinely feeling inside, what you are vibrating out, what you are emitting from your inside. And again, your actions. Your actions do count. So if you know that what you're thinking of doing is the opposite of what you should be doing, then yeah, this is where that accountability comes in. Okay? Because we all have a conscience. It's a matter of listening to it or not. And we all know this. When you get to a point where you're actually reflecting on yourself and you're starting to pick apart what the problems were and or how to make things better, you start to reflect on everything from the past. And so one thing that came up to me recently, and it's shameful that it took this long to even arise, but recently it occurred to me that Jiminy Cricket was trying to tell us the whole time, y'all. He really was. He told us when Pinocchio was supposed to be going to school and he didn't go to school because, the acting life seemed so much more glamorous to him and he was going to be a real boy. Jiminy Cricket kept saying the same thing. He used to sing about it. He sung. He made a whole song. He danced in the street. He hopped all over the place. And what he said was, let your conscience be your guide. Let your conscience be your guide. And, I used to love the little song. I used to dance to it. I used to sing it around the house as I'm going without knowing the actual meaning, without actually understanding. But it's true. From when you come in here to when you leave, let your conscience be your guide. That is your inner spirit. It will not steer you wrong. And you will not feel the impulse to stick your foot out unless there's something to stand on. True story. Abraham Hicks said that I've seen the results over and over and over again. Sometimes you got to take your hands off, follow what you know is the correct thing that you should be doing, and do it. Despite what it looks like on the outside, do it because you know from the inside that that is where you're supposed to be going with it, right? Don't lie to yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Love on yourself. And that's everything else just falls into place. Seriously. You get your best results when you are following your conscience. So, again, with the split energy, if you're dealing with something that you know what's being offered to you is not what you want, there's no reason on earth you need to settle for anything less than what you want. Seriously, there's not one reason you need to settle for less than what you want. The only reason that you would do that would be to accommodate someone else's want. Seriously, pick through that, think about it for a minute, because there's no reason to deny what you feel is the correct thing to do unless you are trying to adhere to what someone else feels is the correct thing to do. Bottom line. And the truth is, human nature, from society's teachings, a lot of people, most of us don't like to be singled out or ostracized in any way. We want to be a part of some group in some way. And that goes like deep in studies about psychology and sociology that I won't get into today because I'm not here for the intellectual portion. I'm here for the spiritual portion. Most people don't like to be singled out. We don't like to feel like we're alone, we're forced to be alone, or that we are alone. There's usually a lot of issues around being alone and dealing with yourself and not being a part of a group. And I personally dealt with that when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally in a different headspace now where I don't give a hoot. I don't give a hoot about being alone. And in fact, I actually love it. And I got to a point when I was healing where I loved it a little bit too much. Got a little too accustomed to it, a little too happy and comfortable. A person like me, I can only really walk that line of being alone because I have 3 amazing, beautiful little spirits that are here with me, and they're young in age, and so they still kind of rely on me at this point. So I have to take that into consideration. I can only be alone but so long, truthfully. But when I get those moments, I thoroughly enjoy them. And if you're not thoroughly experienced in being alone, like just sitting by yourself, talking to yourself, standing in the mirror, looking at yourself naked, like if you don't do those things for real, start that today. Like that is my advice, which of course you don't have to take on any day, but I do suggest that you start that. Take some time out, look at yourself, love yourself, pick yourself apart, whatever was bothering you, figure out why it was bothering you. Because something that I learned when I was reflecting, I'm always reflecting. That's kind of a nonsensical statement. But one of the things that came out big to me was that the things I was ashamed of or I didn't like about myself were never actually things that I didn't like about myself. They were just things I got a lot of negative feedback about from other people. And or even if it wasn't a lot of people, I might have heard like one really terrible thing about it. And then boom, it was stuck in my head. It was stuck in my head. Not as that person's opinion, but it was stuck in my head as almost factual. I felt as if I needed to do more and it wasn't right and it had to be a certain way. But that's years gone. I'm in a place now, like I genuinely love myself in and out, every single part of my body. I'm so grateful because I thought it was a terrible body at one point. I thought it was broken down at one point. I thought it was not going to, get the job done at one point. But the truth is, my expectations were in the wrong place as far as my body goes. And that was, of course, based on outside views. I was basing things from the wrong place. But I know better now, and I am here to try and get you on the same page if you are not there. And if you are there, and or sometimes maybe faltering, like you need a little encouragement, some support from like-minded people, understand, I'm here for you. I got you. I support you. You can do that. We're gonna wobble. You might have a little trouble with the balance at times, but the good news is you can always turn it around as long as you're here on this earth. You can always turn it around, and actually can probably turn it around in the next life too. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you are not doing, it's not permanent. It is not a death sentence. It's not the end. Anything can change at any moment. As soon as you start aligning yourself or keep yourself aligned with your inner spirit, and you manifest what's going to happen. Wake up in the morning and tend what is going to happen. You say it. It's your world. It is your world. And so when it comes to, again, split energy and what you should and should not do, I personally feel like you should always take a moment. First of all, stay calm. Always take a moment and ask yourself, literally, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about it? Because when you get in the habit of doing that, stopping and thinking before you take the action and or, actually go through with something that you may even repetitively do, You have to stop and think, is this what I want? Does this feel good to me? Is this going in the right direction? Why do I feel a nag? I feel like a nag inside now that I'm presented with these options. Why is that? That's what you need to stop and think about and understand. No matter what the situation, no matter what deadline someone's telling you or how detrimental it is that something gets done, understand that you control your world. Think of a mule. Think of a mule, a donkey. Can't nobody move you if you don't want to be moved. You know what I mean? So find out where your loyalty lies. Is your loyalty with yourself? Is your loyalty at home with you, with your inner spirit, in your body, in your being? Or is your loyalty just everywhere? Like you wake up and you just go with whatever's going on out there. You get slapped around by other people's intentions. Work through that. I'm working through a lot of things. Not that one. That one's a check. But I am working through a lot of things. And again, I'm here to help. I'm definitely here to help. If you want to work through these things, if you choose to try and higher your vibration and be the best version of yourself that you can be, I want to get in where I can fit in, you know? Maybe listen to me sometimes. Send me an email. If you have a question, if there's something specifically you want to hear about and I'm able to shed some light on it, send me an email. I got you. So split energy can show itself in a lot of different ways. And it's just our job to actually be aware that the energy is split. And when your energy is split is when you feel that nag. So if something's happening and you start to feel like emotional or you feel that or you feel like anything, whatever the feeling is in you, if you get a feeling when something is going on, understand that's your inner spirit speaking to you. That is your inner spirit attempting to guide you. And now it is your responsibility to hear what's being insinuated by the universe and by your spirit and follow through or ignore it. Are you listening to your conscience? Are you going to go to school like Pinocchio was supposed to? Or are you going to ignore the little cricket on your shoulder, get on the boat, and end up in a slave trade somewhere as a puppet? Are you a puppet, I guess is my question. But another example of the split energy would be like, for instance, and I'm not going to come for nobody, because I genuinely am like, my mind is so open. I'm not judgmental. Whatever you do with your time does not affect me. Please understand that. I love you from afar because I love everybody because I'm a hippie and that's what I do. I want to spread the love and the peace, truthfully. Even in 2022, I want to spread the love and the peace. So understand these are not like observations or any inklings that are coming from ego. I more so just want to point out so that you can find areas where you might be able to relate in your own life and understand that it applies to everything in this universe. These laws apply to everything in the universe. Okay, whether you're paying attention to what you're doing or not. Okay, either you're choosing or you're not, but it does apply to you either way. Split energy can also look like you saying that you have faith in a higher power, in a God, in the universe, in many gods, in the ancestors, anything that you believe in. If you say, for instance, that you give your all to respecting and loving on, valuing the religion that you follow, or the spiritual enhancements that you're using to maintain yourself. Split energy would look like, okay, so in my religion, it is unacceptable to get vaccines, or it is unacceptable to delve into any of societal's medicines, any of these newfound, new age things that are going on because they're, whatever your religion believes in. If you were to believe that and then turn around and get a vaccine and you say that it's because this is getting serious now, here in 3D world, it's getting serious. You don't understand. This many people got sick. You don't understand. This is what's happening to all of these people. First of all, you got to stop and put it in perspective. Are these people that you know personally? Sometimes yes, but they are on their own walk. Okay, you might know somebody and they may seem like the best person on the outside, but what are they feeling on the inside? What do they emanate? What is emitting from their spirit? What do they speak when they speak? Are they speaking life or are they speaking death? Are they running in circles in old thoughts and reliving and recycling their experiences? Or are they doing new things? Okay, take all of this in consideration when you go, oh, all these people fell victim to, a sickness. But the split energy would be you saying that I am a part of this religious community. I believe this religious community. It is a part of me and I truly believe in it. To say that and then to turn around and say, well, I did get the vaccine though, because look, I have this going on. okay, in my life. This could happen. They said this is the potential. They said this many people died. I saw this happen and I saw that happen. Your energy would be split, because if you have faith in whatever you have faith in, your faith would be to just go, to walk. Like, if you genuinely believe that you're good based on your faith, then you're good. That's genuine, whatever your faith is. Understand that. I'm not saying like to practice any law of assumption and law of attraction techniques. I'm not saying you have to do these type of things to be right, because again, there's no right way. What I'm saying is whatever way you do it, if that's where your faith is, stay there with your faith. Don't say one thing and then do another thing, because that's the split energy that gets you tied up. You know, every time you do that, and every time you don't fulfill your own wishes, every time you ignore your inner spirit as they try to speak to you, you're setting yourself back just a little bit further. You're, as far as your progression goes, again, it can always be changed while you're still here walking. But long story short, you're slowing down your own vibration, your own energy when you do that. Be real with yourself. Take care of yourself, be real with yourself, and it does not matter what's going on in anybody else's life. It doesn't apply to you if it doesn't apply to you. Don't take it on if it doesn't apply to you. Because something that Jim Rohn said, and I completely agree with, is that, and this is paraphrased, it's not verbatim, because y'all know I don't like verbatim assist the struggles from time to time. But paraphrased, Jim Rohn said that we walk in the direction that we're facing. And that sounds so simple. It's like, oh, you just saying stuff and you ain't even say nothing. No, listen to that. Like, think about that for a second. It's true. Now, yes, you can face one direction and walk backwards, but understand that's not like, it's not, you're trying to grab for stuff, if that's what you're thinking. Let it go. Because at the end of the day, naturally, you will walk in the direction you're facing. And what that means is what you're focusing on is what matters. Where you're focusing is where you're going at the end of every day. And if you're focusing in two completely different areas, you ain't going very far. Understand that. You can't have both. And that's something I had to learn throughout this journey. Like, you can't straddle the fence. You can't have both. Either you want it good or you want it complicated, bad, possibly unforeseen, unpredictable. Like, how you want it. How do you want it? It's up to you. Completely up to you. But straddling the fence is going to get you straddled fence results. Just make sure you understand that, is all I'm saying. Another way your energy could be split in a real-time example would be watching other people's kids. So something I notice about people who are not me is that they're really big on family. They're really big on taking other people's burdens because they're family. They're really big on having like lots of rambunctious kids over that they obviously are not satisfied with having there. They're not comfortable. These kids come in, they're rambunctious, they mess with their kids, they knock stuff over, they break stuff, whatever's the situation. I know many different situations in which case it's like they don't really want those kids over there, or maybe they don't really want those kids over there for that long, or maybe they want those kids over there, but teach your kid how to behave when they go to other people's houses. Whatever's the reason, however that plays out, that is just another example of split energy. You don't want this extra company here. You don't want to have to clean up after. You don't want to have to deal with the crying and the screaming and the breaking and the whatever you deal with. But you do it because that is family and you're supposed to, right? Like, that's what family does, we're taught. Like, you're supposed to take on their burdens and feel guilty when they can't make something happen. These are things you should look at. Like, if you're somebody that's in that place, you take on stuff out of habit, or you take on stuff because you don't know how to say it, or you take on stuff because it's just the way it's normally done. Understand you're making a choice. You're making a choice to take that on. You're making a choice to stay in a place that is not satisfactory to you, and you can change it. You're not a problem solver. I said this before. You are not a problem solver. That's not what you came to do. And I think that's why society gets so complicated, because we don't know as individuals when to take our hands off. We get so caught up in the hypotheticals and the potentials of what could happen that could be wrong, and half the time they don't even happen. Or they might happen once, and instead of changing it, you just keep reliving it and recycling and wondering why it's happening again and again and again. You have an option. Every step of the way, you have an option. What do you want to focus on? What do you want presented in your life? If you know what that is, you need to start focusing there. Period. Deal with people that have that mindset. Go places where you will be eventually when you get where you want to be. You got to start living in it. You got to start living in it, because you talking about something that you're not exercising is not going to get you there. Understand, like, that manifestation, whatever it may be, will not come true until you are walking in it, until you are being an example of where you plan to be in the end. Like, understand that. You got to be satisfied with where you are before you can get anywhere else. And you have to clear space, clear out the old things before you can welcome anything new. And y'all, forgive me. I know I'm looking everywhere. I'm actually recording this in several different ways because, again, technology struggles from time to time. And I just want to be sure that this time I have an actual video to go with my voice. I had to plug in the thumbnail last time due to things that happen. But we good. We all good. And we're talking about split energy today. When you are manifesting intentionally, like when you know that you're manifesting and you want something and you're actually working towards it, understand that the in-between is not really where your focus ever needs to be. How it happens is not your business. It is not your business. Understand that things will happen in miraculous ways. Well, that's how we describe it here, in society. It's a miracle. Miraculous things are happening. It's magic. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of this is a little bit of magic, okay? It's a little bit of alchemy. A sister been dabbling, and I'm not talking about techniques and things. I'm not talking about disturbing anybody's peace or against anyone's will type of things. But like when you start walking in it, it feels good. It feels good. Yeah, I'm just telling you again from experience. This is how I got to the everyday peace that I have now. And I mean, I have everyday peace. I was not always this way. I did not wake up happy. I did not wake up like even wanting to do nothing. And there have been times that I didn't want to wake up. Obviously, because I'm a human. But I'm going to tell you now, like, things have changed. Things are great. And it's been such a long time at this point. I feel like I'm in a place where I can share. If you trying to get to your best self, if you trying to unravel something or start over or do something, you just don't know where to start, go back in my videos. Like I tell you from step one, like take your time. This ain't a race, and nobody has a list as to how you're supposed to do it right. This is about you. Don't listen to nothing they have to say. This is about you. And you can tell You can tell the universe what you want, and you start working. Put action towards it. Go in the direction. You got to be in it to win it. Do your part. Tell the universe what you want, but don't sit there and try to micromanage everything that happens in between. Don't sit there and try to micromanage everything that's happening in between what you asked for and when the manifestation comes. Because the more you try to micromanage, the more you try to force what's going to happen or control the results or control how it happens, the further you're pushing it away. Fall back, relax. I think that's like the main lesson in manifesting. You have got to fall back. Like you don't run everything. And trust me, you don't want to. Because when you let the universe take over and be in charge of the results, you get results that you didn't even imagine could have been. It would not logically make sense here on earth, but you got it. It happened. You did that. It's all in here. Like real power is all in here. What I've learned is it took so long. I'm kind of like, it took so long. But what I've gradually learned is that pretty much everything in society that we are told and taught is the complete opposite of what we should be doing. I've gotten better results since I started really applying myself like the last, 4 or 5 years than I've gotten in all of the previous years. And we talking a few decades. It's been a few decades. Proud of them. It's been a few decades. But I feel like I'm just getting started now because I know some stuff I never knew and some stuff that was secrets, I guess. Nobody wanted to share it. But there's so much out here for you. There's so much out here. Whatever it is you want, you can have it. It's all about you. Put in that work for yourself. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. You got this. Take control. Take control of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, of course. Like, take control of what's going on, of what results you want. Take control. Your life, your world, it's all you. It is all you. And don't worry about what you're seeing here in the 3D, because these are past thoughts. These are past manifestations that are surrounding us. Understand that. So even when you see people going through the same things again and again, that's because they're recycling thoughts and experiences. That don't mean you have to do it too. That don't mean you have to do it. Like, just change your thought. 1 or 2 thoughts, adjust them from what they used to be. Stop thinking negatively. Stop thinking pessimistically. Stop listening to people when they say, oh, that doesn't happen and that's impossible. Anything is possible. I'm here to tell you, anything is possible. I don't doubt for a second when I hear that, like, Buddhist monks can levitate and such. I don't doubt for a second that they can. Because what it comes down to is how well you are aligned with your inner being, which is of source. Whomever source is to you. God, universe, Buddha, ancestors, the Roman gods, whoever source is to you, understand that is inside of you. And so once you start aligning and maintaining yourself, good. Hear me when I say you're good. So use your energy for only what you want. Like, only use your energy for what you want. If it's something that you don't want to continue in life, you don't want to keep being there, you don't want to keep feeling that way, then use your energy somewhere else. Focus your energy somewhere else. Don't give any reaction or thought or feeling to what you don't want, because that is exactly what keeps you stagnant in a place that you don't want to be. That is what keeps the feeling like coming back, coming back, coming back. Nobody's perfect. You can't cancel out all thoughts immediately. You can't turn them off immediately. But what you do is you maintain them. As they pop up, no, that's not where we're at. As they pop up, you slap them back down. Like, slap them back down. Replace it with something positive. Replace it with something that you intend to do. Something that just happened that was good. Like, if you're going to be in the past with the good memories. Be in the past with the things that excelled you, the things that helped, that made you feel amazing about yourself. That's where you go if you're going to go in the past. And again, I'm speaking in 3D terms. I'm speaking in physical terms, but past, present, and future is all now anyway. We'll get there. We'll get there. But long story short, there's so much more to know. And I love that, because I love to know stuff. I love to learn. I love to apply things and to make a difference, not only for myself, but for people around me. If I can be of use, I want to be of use. I want to benefit someone else every day. That is literally one of my goals every day. And I like to believe that I do. When I go out in public, like I try to show that source is in me. I try to show that there is a better way than what we see every day. These recycled thoughts of nastiness, violence, rudeness, unhappiness, depression, and all of these other subcategories that pop up. I am not diminishing any world that you live in at this point, because I have lived in all of those worlds, every single one, from the street life to the mental illnesses to the stay-at-home mom. I've lived so many of those worlds. So please don't think I'm coming at you as somebody who's trying to be better or knows more than you. It's not that at all. I'm coming to you as someone who's been there, who I think you could relate to. And I just want to help. Just want to help. I think you can relate. If you can and you're here, I feel like you're open to help. Here, you're probably open to a little guidance. And I am not the great white hope, but I know some stuff and I can share. Find whatever it is that triggers your growth. What is it that triggers your expansion, that lights you on fire? And I mean whatever it is, because the greatest thing about the time that we're in now is, of course, this technology. You know, it can be used in a terrible way, but it can be used in an awesome way too. You have real-time access to people everywhere on this earth. And that's kind of like the dopest thing. Anything you want to know, you can find out. YouTube is a close friend of mine. Okay? And that's because there's so much out here on the web that you can see, find, learn, know, just have fun with, experience. There's just so much. And so if you find that you're interested in something like, I don't know, you're a big dude, you like to cross dress, you like really tall stiletto heels, but you only like to be this way on top of buildings in the wintertime. Bruh, like really, change your terms up in the search box, but look for it. I guarantee you somebody out there is into the same thing. You can find like-minded people. You can find some inspiration and support everywhere. And there's nothing wrong with being inspired by other people. That was something else I had to learn to let go of with ego. You know, we are roped into this whole competition, and life is me better than you, and we're racing and I'm closer than you are. It's not what it is. That never felt good to me. I'm not a competitive person. I love a challenge. Please challenge me. I love to challenge myself. And when I strive to be great because I want to be. I strive for quality because that's just what I'm into. But I definitely am not competitive. And so that being said, it was kind of relief to learn on a spiritual level that that's really not what this is all about. When you're moving forward, when you're advancing, when you're progressing, when you're elevating, when you're expanding, that's all you. It's all about you. You're not in comparison to anybody else. It is a matter of where you were before and where you are now and where you're trying to get. Like that's the race. If there's any type of race, it's going to be where you started and where you end. You know, it has nothing to do with anybody else. You're the only person that wakes up in that body. You're the only person that goes to sleep in that body. And I don't care how many voices you got in your head. You heard what I said. You have one inner being. Everything of this world is of source. Apply your energy where you want it and move forward. Whatever forward is for you. It don't have to be a huge leap. There's no list. You're not on a list of every single human being and how big of a leap you made on that day and how small of a leap you made on the other day. It's not about that. It's about what you determine is most important. It's about what you determine deserves your time and energy. And it's about how far you want to go from where you were. It's about you. Okay, just keep that in mind, because people will make you feel like it's selfish to think about you. But I'm telling you now, it's not. You get the greatest results thinking about you. When you control your world and you are aligned with yourself, you not only inspire other people to be the same way, but it kind of like just bounces off of you. They have no choice if they're going to be around you to get some of that loving, to get some of that happiness and that growth. It just is what it is. They can close their eyes, but they still feel it. They can plug their ears, but they feel it. They hear it. They see it. They know it. They know it. So yes, just if you're going to race with yourself, challenge yourself, be better than you were yesterday. It's all about that. It really is. But the split energy has to stop if you're trying to go somewhere, because you will be stagnant if you're thinking in this direction and acting in this direction. You're not in one with yourself. Get in one with yourself. Go in one direction where you can think, act, feel everything all at one time. Like, do that. Seriously. There is an option in this world to vibrate anywhere you want to be. And that being said, another episode I will be doing is about how some people do choose to be the bad guy this round. We got options, and there's not a right way or a wrong way. I mean, we all got somebody that we can't stand the way they present themselves, the way they behave at times, and we don't comprehend like why you would. But the truth is, we are individual spirits, and if that person resonated with being the bad guy this round, or being viewed as the bad guy, they go out here doing some reckless stuff all the time without rhyme or reason and don't care about the results, that's them. Let them do it. Because first of all, you can't control it anyway, but then on top of that, it literally has nothing to do with you. And when they head over to the next life, whatever the next realm is after these bodies, understand that that's still them. Like, it has nothing to do with you. If they want to be the bad guy, they can correct it after this life. They can correct it in this life if they want to, or they can spend another 10 lifetimes doing nothing about it. Whatever is decided by that person has nothing to do with you. There are so many worlds, so many options, so many realms that you can reside in. Just decide where you want to be and get there. Simple stuff. You will always have company where you're going. Understand that too. As long as you're here on this earth, you'll have company where you're going if you want it. So don't think, oh yeah, these are my people. These are the people I know, and they know me best, and we know how it goes. We know how we do, and we got to stay. No. And I'm not saying shun nobody. I'm not saying you don't deal with these people ever again. If you want to deal with them, cool. That's not my point. You can have relations with people. You can even be involved in other people's lives without allowing it to dictate your life, without allowing it to take the driver's seat of your journey. Okay, without handing the paintbrush over for your picture. Okay, I saw that one. I don't know who said it. But yes, don't give anyone the paintbrush to your painting. You know what I mean? Especially if you only have one paintbrush. And you do only have one paintbrush. That is your inner spirit. Align with it. Get with it. Progress yourself. Go get the happiness. So split energy would be, in another example, we're in a relationship war. Okay, I don't feed into this, but when I'm on YouTube, a lot of titles come through my feed. Since I don't do the whole like tracking my history and my search and everything, I get a little bit of everything sometimes. So long story short, I'm aware that there is like a sex war going on, a gender war, whatever you want. I mean, there are so many wars. There are so many wars going on, obviously, even ones that you haven't heard about. Obviously, right now there is a war between some ants and a caterpillar somewhere. I'm telling you now. Okay, but the war between men and women, and how I don't even know like where to start addressing that, but long story short, it is one of those lower vibrational levels that you will only involve yourself in is if that's where you want to vibrate. If you are looking to fight with men continuously, if you're looking to fight with women continuously, if you're looking to fight with anybody about anything continuously, understand that that's just really where you about to stay. You can't say that you want love or you want something to get better, and then you're out here talking about how men are slacking or how women are slacking. You're missing the point. What do you actually want out of the situation? That's where you put your focus into. So if you actually want love, if you actually believe that love is out there, that there are twin flames, and that you believe in black love, every type of love that's out there, if that's where you want to be, then that's where you focus on the love aspect of things. Don't sit there and play around with the low vibrational stuff, because what happens is you just stay in a low vibrational state. You cannot be both in a high vibration and a low vibration. You can't. And I'm still out to lunch on whether or not you can be in like a middle vibrate. I mean, well, yeah, you can vibrate anywhere, obviously, but understand you get your best results by focusing on what you want. And so if you want love, you focus on love. When you see it in public, you love on it. Love on the love. It's really what it comes down to. I mean, just keep pouring it out. Love on it. One of the audiobooks I read, and I don't remember which one, unfortunately, but one of the books basically said, I didn't read that audiobook. I just realized I didn't read that audiobook at all. I listened to it, obviously. But one of the things that they said that was, again, simple, but it made a lot of sense, was pretty much every one of us as a vibrational being, of course, we are not only from source, we are a stream of the source. But on top of that, source comes into us and enhances us. And it is then your option whether or not you also pour out of you what source has enhanced you with. That's an option. You can get all the love and support that you're getting from this universe and keep it inside of yourself and ignore it and just be nasty to people all the time because that's how you want to be and you don't understand the connection between your physical and your spiritual. Or you can like let that come into you, acknowledge it, and give it out to other people. Because your energy, however you are giving it, your money, your time, your love, your energy regenerates. It recycles just like any negative thoughts can. It regenerates, it recycles as soon as you are putting it in the right places. You have no shortage of energy. You have no shortage of energy. So you can give out as much love as you want to. Regulate yourself, align with your being, and you can give out as much love as you want to without depleting from yourself. Don't be afraid to adjust your surroundings if that's what's necessary. If you feel like you get entirely too much input, adjust it. Stop giving people access to you, to input. Stop opening the funnel for them to pour their things in. You know what I mean? You have to learn to use your own discretion for what works for you. Start to filter it out. What is relevant, what isn't? What is an opinion, what isn't? What works for me, what doesn't? Simple stuff. And I'm going to tell you, like, anybody that's down for you is going to be down for you regardless. And if they ain't down for you, then oh well, because there's like at least 8 billion people on this earth. You know, there's no way while you're on this earth that you're going to meet everybody, experience everybody, know what everybody's like. It's just, keep that in mind. These people you know are not the only people. These are not the last people. These are not the end all people, unless that's what you make them, right? But yeah, you focus on the love, focus on the happiness, and hold it close. And I do comprehend it now. It's more than just like treating people how you want to be treated, but you have a choice to give some of the love that's inside of you. And you have a choice to keep it to yourself. So many choices. And I choose to give it out because I'm completely happy, at peace. I'm so happy inside. I don't see a reason not to give out. If you hold it inside and you just want to be angry to be angry for the sake of it, like I speak to people that are just mad and they keep telling me it's the principle. I can't relate to that. I don't understand, but that's only because I've chosen to do differently. I've chosen to not sit in that place. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's kind of it's kind of sad, I guess, to see so many people stuck, stagnant, dormant, and then when they tell you they're unhappy and you want to help, and so you make a suggestion, a lot of times it becomes a battle. It's like, oh, you're telling me what to do and you don't know because you're not in my situation. They're not ready to hear the message. They're just not ready, because at the end of the day, we all have choices. Every day, from minute to minute, we all have choices. What choices are you making? What choices are you sticking with? What choices are you following through? Which thoughts and feelings are you recycling based on something that happened? Like I said last episode, ask yourself, because I don't know the answer to those questions. I might have known you 53 years. I'm not even 53 yet, but you get my point. I might have known you my whole life, which is closer to 4 decades than it is to 3. A sister had a birthday yesterday. Just want to tell you, Virgo life. But long story short, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your goal is. I don't know what your purpose is. I don't know what you're here to do. I don't know what you did. And it doesn't matter what I know. But you know. So be real with yourself. Take care of yourself. Stop any split energy you have. Like, once you start clearing that out and combine your energies into the places that you want to be, you want to go, you want your energy to reside. Once you start doing that, like, you be all right. You will be all right. Just stop splitting it. Stop talking and doing completely different things. Stop agreeing with people that you don't agree with. Stop, get off the bandwagon. Trends and common occurrences and popular things, again, because nobody likes to be ostracized, like, understand that's not the only way. That's not how it is for everybody. That world, you know, those people that you trying to keep up with and you trying to stay in the flow with for whatever reason, understand you can dip off and create your own flow, your own world with your own people, other people that are doing it exactly how you like it. I do it all the time. Like, I literally do it all the time. So I know it's possible. Hear me when I say, you don't have to be anywhere you don't want to be in this world, period. So it's just a matter of working on it from the inside out. Take your time, work on it, get it right, align yourself, and start creating your world. If you've never done it before, start from this day forward. Create your world. What you say goes. Because again, it's not only a spiritual thing. It is not only a mental or emotional thing that you're dealing with here. It's physical. It is literally so many physical ailments are coming from your conscience, from your conscious activity, from what you're doing with your time and your energy in this world. Okay, like it's coming from your body. If you have a lot of health issues, understand it don't have to be that way. Forget what the doctors say. It don't have to be that way. And again, this is proven time and time again. There were many, many people before me saying the same thing. Okay, and there's proof out there of people that chronic illnesses, terminal illnesses, mind over matter. Okay, what do you want to do with it? And I will say, I myself, I'm not going to give details, but I myself was told many years ago on more than one occurrence that basically I just couldn't be okay without relying on medicine for the rest of my life. I was told for many different reasons. And that was at least 6 years ago. Like, I don't know, because that's not what I was feeling inside. You're telling me that I'm just going to disintegrate from here. I'm just going to get worse and my health is going to decline. And this is just it for me. I now have to rely on this medicine, and I now have to either always have the insurance to cover it, or I have to have the money to cover it. And then in the United States, where I was born and raised, they be bugging with that money sometimes. I mean, let's be real. They be bugging. I done worked in every industry. They be bugging. You can... Please don't get me started. But long story short, I rose out of that illusion. I rose out of those vibrations. I don't vibrate in any of those places now. To me, those are menial places. To me, not judging you again, but to me, those are menial places. That's trivial stuff. I don't have time for the tedious bickering and pettiness and like men against women. No time for that. Okay, because my life has real love in it, like real love, real peace, real enjoyment, and it's not attached to any person. I adore my kids. I enjoy them. I adore my guy. I enjoy him. But I am not attached to the point that I can't be happy without them. Like, I'm unconditionally happy. And this is how it started. Small steps, working on myself, getting to know myself, loving on myself, taking care of myself is how it started. And everybody else around me is good. They may be even better off because of it. Again, just telling you as example for you to relate to, hopefully resonate with, let you know that it's possible. Whatever it is in your mind, it's very possible. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. And there's nothing wrong with, speaking with people occasionally and maybe even bouncing ideas off of them. Like, I personally am not against that, because I feel like if you are vibrating and aligning yourself, balancing well enough with your inner being, it won't affect you to get a little input from everywhere. There will be a point that it does not affect you. And that's really... I think that's part of the end goal. You don't want to be swayed or affected by anything that's going on around you, because it doesn't involve you at all. What involves you is what you intend to involve you. So if you are someone you're used to bouncing ideas off of people, or you feel like you need some input about something, again, I'm not saying don't do that if that's what you do and you still feel happy doing it. What I'm saying is limit that input sometimes. Limit it, because it will get to a point that you get wrapped up again and you may not realize, rather, that these people, whether they mean well or not, are not living your life. Okay? It gets to a point where you have to stop and ask yourself, this direction, this input that I'm getting from others, is it an opinion? Is it a preference? Is it fact? Is it me? Do I want that? Does it work? Just stop, talk to yourself sometime, figure it out. Please don't split your energy. If you say it, mean it. Mean it. And if you're not in a place that you mean it yet, then don't say it. That being said, I'm not against, I guess, in a sense, faking it until you make it. Because I believe you do have to speak things into existence. But you also got to feel it. And for me, if you feel it and you even like you get the visions, you know something's coming, like you can't explain it, but it's there, like you, whatever that something is, like it might be a specific something. You know, you get married, but you don't even have a boyfriend. Long story short, if you feel it, go with that feeling every time, because manifestation will work wonders. And again, it's not your job to figure out how stuff happens in between. It's your job to put it out there. Speak it. Speak life. Speak your life. Put it out there, what you want, what you intend to happen, and then you take your little baby steps towards it, you know? Take little baby steps towards it. Don't try to run in there and throw everything together all at once, because that would be you, again, as a human trying to micromanage something you don't control. But take baby steps towards it, and you'll look up one day and be like, oh my goodness. So like a year ago, I was cray-cray. Still am. But anyway, don't split your energy. Get that together. Get it together. Get it together. If you got to make a choice on some energy, where to apply it, what feels better to you, go with what your inner being says. Go with what genuinely feels better, even if it makes no sense to anybody on the outside. Do it. It's been great. I'm glad to have gotten that out. Thank you for coming again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, come back, put me on your playlist, all that good stuff. Like I need you to rock with me so that we can really get the momentum going on this. You know what I mean? Subscribe, please and thank you. And aside from that, it's been great. Look forward to you coming back. Send me an email if you have questions, comments, whatever it is. Send me an email. My email is linked below. And otherwise, real ones, stay real, be great, don't accept the hate, and never surrender to the pretender. Dolo out.